going on, everyone? Today I'm here with another video of the niche features of the Twilight Imperium browser app. And it's been a while since we've seen a video in this playlist, but I thought I'd go over one of the features that definitely shows up a lot less, but is worth mentioning at least once. So this has to do with unit movement. Now, you might recall from, I think in the app introductory series, if you watched it, that when you're in space combat, if you do have ships that you're assigning hits to that can sustain damage, the app will automatically assign hits to ships that have already sustained damage. That way you're optimizing the amount of hits you can take in a combat, right? So there is no choice there. But it may have occurred to you that it's possible during the move ships phase of the game, or step rather, that you might have two units of the same type, say like two War Suns, and one has sustained damage and one hasn't, and you only want to move one ship, right? So then you might be wondering, well, what does the app do for you then? Because here it's not so clear. Maybe you might want to move the ship that has already sustained damage, and you might want to move the ship that has its sustained damage intact. And there could be tactical reasons for that. But nonetheless, we'll see now how the app handles that. So let's look at it. Okay, we're playing a game here, and we're from the perspective of Embers of Moi. We're playing as Charlie. And you'll notice in our home system, we have this scenario that I was alluding to. We have two dreadnoughts, so two ships of the same type. One of them clearly has sustained damage on its kind of tilt here. And then we have another one that hasn't sustained damage, right? So we're going to go ahead and activate the LODOR system here to see how the app handles movement. So let's go ahead and do that. And we'll pass on the ability round. Okay, so now we're in the choose ships to move. Now, if you don't know how to move ships, you can go ahead to the app introductory series to see how that works. Otherwise, I'll just assume you know all the major details. So I'm just going to explain here how to select which dreadnought you want to move, and it's really easy. So, well, we're going to move ships out of the Moat system. So currently we only have these dreadnoughts. So normally what you would do is just click the ship, and that's indeed what you'll do. And now here, the app notices, if you read, that there are dreadnoughts in this system that have sustained and not sustained damage. Choose which ship to move. And I realize there's a typo here. This shouldn't be possessive. It should be pluralized, so we've got to remove that apostrophe. But anyways, right, so we have to choose the ship or a ship with sustained damage, so sustained damage ship, or a non-sustained damage ship. Right, so let me just click away from this and not select either of them, right? So here, let's say first we're going to choose the ship that has sustained damage, so we want to move this ship to here, right? So we'll click Dreadnought and we'll click Sustained Damage Ship, and now you can see the counter has gone down to 1. And if we were to refresh the board here, you'll see that the Dreadnought that has sustained damage is no longer showing up, which means it's currently in the queue to be moved to the LODOR system. Now, if we also want to move the other Dreadnought, when we click it, it just automatically gets put into the movement queue, and that's because there's no more choice to be made, right? Like the Dreadnought left is only the Dreadnought that has sustained damage intact. And the same thing is going to be true for units that don't have sustained damage, right? So this carrier, if we just click it, there's no option, right? let's reset our choices here, and let's go ahead and let's move the ship that has sustained damage, and just that ship. So we'll choose a ship that has sustained damage, and then we'll confirm our choice. And now you can see that's all updated. Alright, so there you go. Yeah, originally what was happening was the ship that would be moved is just the ship that is first in the queue of the units array, so to speak. But this, this isn't quite as clear cut as the assign hits stage, where you really, you don't want to be assigning hits to a dreadnought that has not already used its sustained damage. So yeah, like one instance I can think of where you might just want to move a ship that has sustained damage, right? Like say Lodor wasn't taken yet. Say this infantry wasn't here, and say there was like a really big armada of ships here in this system, right? Now maybe you just want to take the Lodor system because there's something related to some objective maybe that you can quickly score. Maybe you'll get a trade good or something, or you want to prevent someone from scoring an objective if they have Imperial, taking Lodor. But you don't want to necessarily move this ship here because you know what's coming next are these ships, right? So tactically, what you're thinking is, okay, I'll take this, but losing this dreadnought is less value than losing this dreadnought, right? So again, this is a very niche situation, but that's the whole point of this series, the niche series here. Yeah, so I think that's definitely worth its own unique implementation, and was definitely worth going over here. So yeah, you don't have to worry about remembering to do that. The app will automatically prompt you to make that decision, right? Yeah, and it would work the same way if you had like 3 ships, right? So say you had these 3 carriers and 2 of them sustain damage. It's still going to ask you, right? Do you want to move one ship that has sustained damage or one that hasn't? Yeah. Alright, so that'll do it for this video, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.